And with us on the phone, someone who says he knew one of these two brothers, Tamerlan Tsarnaev, the 26-year-old who was killed overnight in a shootout with police in the Boston area. His name is John Kay. He's asked that his last name not be used. He says he used to box and practice mixed martial arts with Tamerlan Tsarnaev. John, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us here on Market Makers. I'd like to begin the conversation by asking you, how do you know Tamerlan Tsarnaev? How did you know him? When did you know him? What kind of contact did you have with him?
Okay, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was working full-time as a project manager, and in my off time, I was training at a mixed martial arts gym in Boston.
Okay,
and,
so keep going,
sorry,
please. Go ahead.
Yeah, and Tamerlan wasn't part of our gym, but he was training for the Golden Gloves Boxing Championship, and I remember that he would come in to work with some of our boxers and to work with us, and that's where I remember him from. So when I woke up this morning and saw his name and his picture on the news, I immediately recognized him. You
said to yourself, I know that guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, did you tell us what you knew about him? And I want to point out what you just said, remind everybody that this happened 4 or 5 years ago, which in and of itself is very interesting, and I want to get into that with you and with Richard Falkenrath in just a minute. But tell me what your experience was like dealing with him. What was he like?
I mean, to be honest, he was a bit, kind of arrogant, cocky guy, a little quiet, but, nice guy, helped everyone out, talked with everyone, kind of minded his own business, but I remember him giving lessons to people in the gym and helping people out, and I didn't really know him personally on a personal level, but seemed like an all right guy, to think about it, that he could do something like this, it's kind of crazy.
Did he seem like a foreigner, or did he seem like an American? And if he was both, did he seem like a fully assimilated American who'd come here from overseas years ago?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Did he have an accent? Did he seem to you like he was somebody from another country?
He had a pretty thick accent, but his English was good. I had no problem communicating with him. Seemed like a normal guy, a lot of immigrants in Boston.
Did he ever tell you where he was from? Did he ever tell you, for example, if he was a religious man?
I just remember that he didn't drink. So, someone asked him for beers or something after the training or whatever, and I just remember that he didn't drink, and I knew that was for religious reasons. But I didn't really get too into it with him. He didn't seem overly religious.
Did you get a sense of what? I think it's important. Everything that you know is important in this case, but did you get a sense of what religion we were talking about, or what religion he was referring to, or might have come up in the course of conversation?
I just assume Muslim because, that's pretty much the only religion I know where people don't drink. But I'm not sure. We never got into a religious discussion. He was never, it was never like a big. At least to me, it was never like a big thing for him to talk about his religion or to talk about anything.
John, did he tell you anything about where he was from?
I think I remember Chechnya. I think I remember that's where he said something about where he started boxing.
To your knowledge, was he active on social media? Did he have a Facebook page or a Twitter handle?
I did not interact with him at all on social media, so I don't know that.
And you said this was 4 or 5 years ago. Did he have any other friends or associates with him, or did he come in by himself?
You know what? I don't remember. The only thing I do remember that he was like for his job, he delivered food for like a local cafe.
So he wasn't going to school at that time. He would have been about 20 years old.
Yeah. 2021. Everyone in the gym knew him. So anyone, that interacted with him, had a lot of interaction with him. So, it wasn't. He wasn't like a stranger there. A lot of people knew him and interacted with him, so it's just kind of crazy.
Where was the gym? I know it was in Boston, but what neighborhood in Boston?
Alston. But I know that he trained at a number of gyms throughout Boston.
And do you know whether the local cafe you say he delivered food for was also in that immediate area?
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but I think it was like a sports cafe or something like that, dugout cafe or something like that.
Did you ever
I can't remember the name exactly.
John, did you ever meet his brother?
I did not.
Did he ever refer to his brother?
I don't remember.
John, have you conveyed this information to law enforcement yet?
No, I haven't. I literally woke up an hour and a half ago and just started seeing everything on Facebook from people I know in Boston saying, like, holy crap, this kid was the bomber, that we all interacted with.
John, to the best of your recollection, was there anything else unusual about him? Or was there anything unusual at all? We've heard speculation, for example, and I will only call it speculation, that maybe these people had some kind of military training or quasi-military training. Could you tell by the way that he boxed or practiced martial arts that he had that kind of training at some point as a younger man?
I mean, he was like an extremely gifted athlete. I mean, I just remember seeing him do his warm-ups and his routines, and he was really strong and really athletically gifted. And I mean, so that might be the only thing I could think that would lead to his military training. And I mean, his boxing was really, really good. And, so I mean, he wasn't just an average boxer. I think he won the Golden Gloves. The Golden Gloves tournament, which is like one of the best amateur tournaments that you can win. So,
Hang on a second. He won the Golden Glove tournament where exactly? Presumably there would be some kind of record of this.
Yeah, I think he won. I think he won the Golden Glove in Boston, if I remember correctly.
But your gym was a mixed martial art gym, not a boxing gym?
Exactly. So I think he just kind of came in to get some sparring practice every once in a while. He wasn't really a member of the gym. I think he just came in to work out and train a little bit once in a while.
And you said on his mastery of English, you said it was heavily accented, but it was good English. I mean, does this seem like someone who had lived in the United States and been educated in the United States for an extended period of time?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but I had no problems communicating with him. He just kind of had that thick, almost Russian accent.
And John, just one last question before we go, and I want to thank you for talking to us. Did anything can you at all put two and two together? Is there anything you can recall about your conversations, about your dealings with him, that would have led you to the place we're at today? He's dead, and he and his brother are suspected in the Boston Marathon bombings.
Not at all. I mean, he seemed like a really nice guy. Seemed kind of to himself and a little bbit arrogant and cocky. But I mean, he helps people at the gym all the time with their boxing, and was friendly with everyone. And so it's a complete shock. I mean, it just to see that this morning. I mean, all week I've been wondering who this psycho was, and it turns out it's someone I interacted with. And it's kind of shocking, especially as an athlete. He was an athlete, that he would do this to other athletes and just to anyone in general. So I mean, it's completely shocking to me. I would never expect it.